Look, I told this woman before we started, she is Sister Wives royalty. Royalty. Suki, the host of the
God,
Sister
Sarah,
Wives.
thank you. Well, it's very kind of you to say that. I'm not royalty at all. I was just given the honor of and the pleasure of sitting down with the Brown family. So it's been quite experience. But listen, it's complicated, as you can tell. I know, like, your fans and your super fans. I've been on your website and I've been on your threads before, and it's like I've wanted to react, but I've just kind of been like, okay, I'll have my moment, and we'll take it from there.
Ooh, okay. Tell us what you wanted to react to. What's the biggest thing you wanted to react to?
I mean, I guess it's easy. I guess people want me to just scream and yell and like get into fights and just, and that's just, when you're sitting down and doing an interview, and I know you know that. I mean, you kind of have to answer your question or ask your questions in a certain way that will elicit an answer, right? Whether it's the answer that you think is correct, that's not really my motive. It's just their answer, and I've proposed the question several times, and whether they want to answer it or not, it's kind of up to them. You try to hold people to the fire, but like, as you know, with the Brown family, this has been years, so it's complicated, and at times it's incredibly touchy. And more times than not, people are like, "Oh yeah, they're," I think I said something like, "Yeah, they're." You guys have to be careful because there are children involved. But there are children involved. They've raised so many children together who are now young adults and who are speaking up for themselves. And they do have platforms where they can do that, but that's their prerogative, right? So, there are younger children also in the Brown family. It's important to kind of honor that. And whether people understand that or not, it's, TBD, to be determined, so
Uh, I
that's
always
what.
I always defend you because obviously I have a media background too. So I know there's a lot going on behind the scenes that the average viewer doesn't know. But
Yeah.
has that been hard? I mean, people come for you as much as they come for Andy Cohen. I mean, they do. You
They
do.
do. I don't know
They
about
really
Andy
do.
Cohen. I think Andy Cohen has his lovers and he controls the show. So it's a different dichotomy, if you know what I mean. I'm just a host of a show. Andy, is Bravo. And he could pretty much say whatever he wants to say. But I mean, yeah, they do come for me, but it's okay. It's part of the business. You can't make everybody happy. And as long as people are talking and there's a conversation on platforms like yours, maybe people can get to the answer they eventually want. Whether the Brown family is going to give them the direct answer that they want, whether it's Kody, whether it's Janelle, whether it's Robyn, it's up to them, right? And that's kind of where I keep it at.
You can only do so much. I think, though, fans are really loving you with these one-on-ones because they feel like you are really trying to really hold their feet to the fire. And
Well, thank you.
we're really seeing them, I think, kind of especially Robyn, sorry, Robyn, but really seeing them try to dodge your questions. Did you prepare differently for this year's one-on-one than the past, or?
Well, I mean, listen, the first one, you sit down with the Brown family. It's about like garnering their, not their respect, but their trust in some ways. I mean, this is a polygamous family. You're trying to respect the lifestyle that they chose and how they chose to raise their children, even though they're on broadcast TV. And they've had a myriad of other hosts, right? So they've been down that treadmill. The fact that I was able to come back the second time garnered more trust and maybe a safe space where they can actually talk and have maybe some aha moments. I mean, in this one, you'll see Christine kind of go, "Oh, I never thought about that," or "Oh, that's interesting." Even on the beginning of the show, Janelle is like, it's kind of tricky sometimes with Suki because I really like her. And, we kind of sit down and it's like friends talking. And I really, wanted to thank both Christine and Janelle for, saying that last year and this year. It kind of means a lot. It means that, they're comfortable enough to, peel back the onion a little bit and maybe speak their piece in a safe space.
How do you prepare for these one-on-ones? I mean, are you like,
Watch everything. I
you
think
do?
people
You
think,
do.
yeah, I think people think I don't watch it all, and I've watched it all. Definitely the seasons leading up to it. I mean, the producers are completely thorough in exactly what they want. And I'm not saying that they're feeding anything, meaning the direction. They help me in background, in research, and understanding where everybody's mindset is at the time. And it's hard because they're not talking to each other. So imagine doing an interview where people aren't talking to each other. So that's kind of hard, and they're not going to badmouth each other because, as you learned last year with Robyn, she said that they all made vows to each other, right? They made vows to each other as they made vow to Kody and the family. So they're not going to go there and, disrespect each other's families, and their family systems. Though, Robyn is holding center court right now. And a lot of what the fans thought from the very beginning, Kody fell in love with her, and we're going to learn that, it's taken him a while to admit that, but he's in love with her.
Absolutely. Can you give fans some insight, or how do you feel? People have always wanted, like, why with these reunions did they not all come together? Like, why are Kody and Robyn not interviewed together, but Christine and David are? Can you give us some insight, like why they made that choice?
I think it's a basic answer to it. They just don't, get along in the sense of what's at the time of the interview that they want to sit down with each other. I mean, that's something I proposed to them. I said, wouldn't it be great if all of you were able to sit together?
Yeah.
I actually said to Kody, I said that to Christine, I said that to Janelle, I said that to Robyn. Wouldn't it be great that way you can all like really listen to each other? But I don't think they're ready for that just yet. Maybe Christine is now, a little bit more, that she's moved on with her life. I mean, Janelle has obviously moved on with her life as well. But we're going to meet them as they're going through these processes of really coming to the disillusionment that this is not what they want to be in anymore. And also protecting their kids, even though they're grown adults, as a mother bear does, protecting their children and creating space for that to grow, right? The kids have to find their own relationships with Kody, which Christine comes out and says. And they also have to find their own relationship with David as well, who they love. I mean, I got to tell you, David's a great guy. He's really laid back. He's really chill. He's everything that you see on TV. He's absolutely in love with Christine, and Christine's absolutely in love with him. So it's really sweet.
Hasn't he been a rock star? I mean, what a gem they found in him. Like Christine, but also for this show, I think he's brought so much like healing, and I can't say enough good about him.
They're in a monogamous relationship, right? Yeah. So Christine's no longer the young girl who has to, like, think about this. They all met each other so young. They started this polygamy journey so young. I mean, think about when you were in your early 20s, and you're raising children now on top of it, and you're in a polygamist family. And now you're 50 something years old, and you're looking back and saying, our kids are grown, and how many people get to that point where, like, yeah, this doesn't work for me anymore. And if we were to look at, relationships that we've had in the past, there are, certain behaviors that happened that were out of lines, out of bounds, at times maybe felt emotionally crossing the line, that you want to correct as a 50-year-old woman or a man, and want to relive the next part of your life in a different space. And I think that's where the Brown family is. Obviously, there's a lot to unpack in between as to how they got there and what happened. But yeah, that's kind of it. And David, they're living in a monogamous relationship, pure and simple. They have to answer to each other. That's it.
Fans have really felt this season, especially this one-on-one, part one, part two. I mean, part two, there's like 25 seconds of silence, I think, where Kody won't answer you. People feel that Kody has really kind of been rude to you, a little bit hostile. Can you tell us, did it feel like that to you?
No, I mean, like, listen, I mean, the stare down is pretty awesome. I actually, when it was happening, I was like, is he not talking? I was in my head. I was like, is he just not going to talk to me? I'm from New York. So it's like, okay, you're going to look at me. I'm going to look right back at you. Like, that doesn't, it's not like he was meaning to intimidate me, but maybe he was a little bit. I don't know what his mindset was, but Yeah, there was a nice little stare down. I think it went for about a minute 30. Like, I mean, think about staring at somebody for a minute 30, like dead in their eyes. I mean, it went for a while. So
It was interesting. I mean, usually they don't leave that much silence on camera. I mean, I thought that
I
said
mean,
a
it was
lot.
like that. It was like that when it was going down. I was like, huh, how long is this going to go for? Gosh, it's going for a very long time. And imagine, I mean, I want to tell the viewers, imagine sitting opposite Kody and looking at him for, for that long. I think a curl's out of place. I'm like looking at his like laugh lines and, I'm looking, he's not a monster. A lot of people are like, he's a narcissistic freak. They say like these awful things about him. Listen, I think the bottom line is he was for me anyway, I feel like he was a very young person who started on this journey and who was trying to keep his family together at all bounds, at all costs, I should say. And he was trying to honor his commitment. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of emotional breakdowns. There's a lot of boundaries that were crossed, and both on both sides, I think. And I'm not supporting Kody. I don't want to be the other sister wife. I know that's been out there. Like, she's in love with Kody. She likes him so much. She gives Kody such a pass. And it's like, no, I'm not. If you listen to what he's saying, you could see that, sometimes the dots don't connect. It's just kind of Cody's view,
Very,
and
yeah.
goes back. Yeah. And it goes back to what I said. Whether he wants to answer the question or not, the question was asked.
What's your take on Robyn? I find Robyn this season, especially, to be almost even more closed off. I think we read
Oh,
about
yeah.
Robyn's personality in real life. She's probably the one that enjoys the fame the least, maybe, and the least being on TV. But I mean, this season, it almost seems like she sits there with you, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, what did you get the sense? Was she sad to be there? Did she really not want to be there? Like, what was happening with these one-on-ones?
I think she's just coming to terms. I mean, I think when you sit down at the one-on-one, they've just come to terms that everything is like, everybody's splitting up. And so she's processing. So is she closed off? Yes. Is she angry? Yeah, probably. Is she tired of the judgment? Absolutely. I mean, she does not go on social media. She does not deal with it at all. You're right. She's incredibly private when it comes to all of that. So yeah, I mean, it might come off as closed off, but I think it's just kind of like she's coming to terms that she is no longer in a polygamous family, which is something that she had always wanted. I mean, and when she got into this family, she sometimes felt, I'm not putting words in her mouth by saying this word, but maybe a little slighted, a little cheated, in the sense that here was this big, beautiful family. Like, if you go back to their wedding, I mean, it was this
Yeah.
incredible, kind of joining, a confluence of all these families and ideas, and it's everything that she ever wanted. And then to kind of see it slowly kind of chipping away was nothing that she ever thought would happen. But, ultimately she loves Kody and Kody loves her. And it's something that the other sister wives uh, noticed right away. I mean, and you have to also understand, I think the relationship with Janelle, Christine, was also kind of rocky,
Yeah.
getting into the marriage. And that's something that I think Robyn felt she didn't know. And if she had known that, maybe it would have been different, even though she loves Kody. Um, I think she had brought that up once, which I thought was interesting.
You do such a great job trying to get them to open up, trying to get, I mean, with Robyn, you can see in these one, you're like doing everything. I mean, what do you do? Like, are you trying to do some humor behind the scenes? I mean, you roll the clips of her being called a cow, everything. Are you trying to like loosen up? Like, I mean, it's like, you're
Kind of. I mean,
like,
it's kind
let's
of like,
watch the
let's,
clip.
yeah, kind of let's get into it. And it is very hard when somebody is not
He didn't give you much.
there or
Yeah.
giving you much, or listen, she's a seasoned vet at this point when it comes to these tell-alls, so she knows exactly what I'm going after, possibly. And maybe she doesn't really feel like opening up that Pandora's box at that moment. And she also has young children, right? So
Yeah.
she wants to protect the girls and she wants to protect her family as well. So.
You have to keep it professional, but I'm sure you're also aware of all the internet fodder. I mean, what's interesting about this family, I mean, people want to know what kind of underwear these guys wear. I mean, Robyn, like, do you ever want to go rogue
Well,
and go, like, okay, Robyn, is this true about this $60,000 doll collection? Like, did you bring any for us today? Like, I mean,
I don't ask those questions, even though I know about the underwear situation. I know about the doll collection. I know about, all the videos and people going into their homes and, videotaping that. I mean, that's all like, I felt like that was an invasion of privacy. You know what I mean? Can
yeah.
you imagine you're going to sell your home and someone starts to, and you're on TV and, that's why these things are always closed, like when you are a high caliber person.
Yeah, that was actually kind of wild because usually you got to have proof of funds to go. I mean, I'm trying to buy a house in LA. My God, they want like your social security card, the original. I mean, it's like, I don't know how she got in there. I
I don't
really,
know. I don't know. But that I felt like that was out of bounds. I mean, think about it. I mean, that family's been through a lot. So regardless of how you feel about them, I mean, their finances are their finances and they've been doing their best. And eventually I think everything settles the way it's supposed to be. The dust will settle. And my whole goal is to do an actual reunion where they're all sitting together in a good space. And I think they are getting to a good space. I mean, I talked to Janelle. I mean, we slide in and out of each other's DMs from time to time, Mother's Day, um, you know, um, yeah. And, even Christine, she comes up to New York from time to time and, we catch up on Instagram and they're really, they're just lovely people. I think if a fan met them, they are nothing but kind and generous and hospitable. Kody included and Robyn included. They're all really good people.
this season, I think the past two seasons have been some of the most compelling. I don't even know if that's the right word because it's also been tragic reality TV that we have ever seen on camera. I mean, that three-part Garrison, story was so well done, I thought, by TLC. When the family decided for the one-on-ones, they did not want to talk about it. As a journalist, as somebody who tells people stories, was that hard for you to hear that they didn't want to go there? Because I have to imagine there were still things you wanted to ask or you wanted an update for fans. Like, how did you take that? And how did you find out that they did not want to go there?
I think we found out that day that they did not want to go there. And that's why off the top of the shows, I mean, I just kind of give my condolences. What is there to say? I mean, a mother, a father, a family lost their son. I mean, what is there to say? I mean, what can you ask as a journalist? I mean, most journalists go and talk to families of tragedies, especially when it comes to suicide. It's about, honoring their space, and also it's about honoring, their wishes. And when they're ready to do something, and they have done many things to honor his memory,
Yeah.
that's on their terms, and I think TLC did just a beautiful job in honoring him in the way that they could. I applaud them, because how difficult it is for us, but as also as a network, to toe the line of respect and understanding, but also giving the information out. I don't know what people want. Do they, at that point, there's enough tragedy, there's enough sorrow and sadness surrounding that. So what answers really? I mean, are we going to play the blame game? I guess people, if they want to play the blame game, but I think, you know, as a person that's covered many tragedies here, including some of the worst tragedies that our nation has faced, there's sometimes pointing the finger gives no, it doesn't take the pain away. It doesn't take the pain
Yeah.
away.
That's a good way to say it. And TLC, I think, did such a great job and they opened up so much with that last three part. You're right. You're right. I think, if anything, as a viewer, I was sort of looking for, like, did the family think it was as well done as we did?
Oh yeah, they see it. They
They
see it. They
happy?
saw it. Yeah, the family saw it. The family approved of it. I mean, the family approves of it, and then it goes on air. So yeah, they saw it. It was what they wanted to be filmed. So Yeah. Yes, they saw it. To the fans, yes, they saw it. Yes, they approved of it. Yes, that's the story that they wanted to share. And that's the story that you have. And of course, they have their own personal ways of grieving and moving through that as a family together.
It was so good. I could cry thinking about it. It was so good. I have
Oh,
two
yeah.
final questions for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Sedona Mansion's so interesting too, I think, to us as fans.
Oh, yeah, because we went back to Sedona.
How does it work though? Are you guys filming over 4 days and like one day Kody and Robyn come in and you film everything and then, or did they all kind of cross paths? Like, how does it work behind the
No, they don't cross paths at all, believe it or not. I mean, it's they come at different times. Morning, afternoon, it's split up like that. And Sedona was a place where, if the fans remember, that was a place where the family went to really heal. Do you guys remember when they went to the center and they were in the circle and they all made their, Christine jumped into the middle of Kody's face and was like, I want you to see me. I want you to, it was their process of healing. And that's, when they were really trying to work on their relationship. And do you remember that episode where they were all in like little, you'll see a flashback of it where Kody's in the center and then the wives had to kind of position themselves where they saw themselves in the relationship and then where they want to be in the family relationship. And Mary was a little bit outside. Janelle was kind of in the middle. And you know what? Christine was like, I want to be right here. I need you to be right here with you. And it kind of explains it. Everybody played roles in that marriage. Mary being the first wife, Janelle kind of being like the financially responsible one that's guiding everybody through the dynamics of running a family, a household, working herself. Christine fell into the caretaker role. That's why the kids are just so close to her. She was the second mom during that time. And Christine needed a little bit more from Kody than Kody could give.
last question? You've done multiple one-on-ones. Who over the years, which one of the sister wives for you has just evolved the most, where you sit across from them and you're like, wow, this is like a different person, or this is somebody that's like done work on themselves? Like, is there somebody that stands out to you? And maybe they've changed in a more negative way, but is there somebody that's changed the most for you?
Feel like they all have from the first time I've met him. Mary, I mean, everyone's going to say, "Oh, you're going to say Christine," because you've seen the evolution of Christine, right, over time, and we've seen everything happen for her, and it's a beautiful thing to see Christine evolve into the woman that she is today, and and stand on her own 2 feet and find love and find her new pathways. But I'm going to say Mary.
I agree, like a totally different person.
I'm gonna say Mary because she was the first wife. She took everything very, very to heart. She was not going to leave. I mean, she did not even to now, even to this season. It was very hard on her to say it's over. Like she took her vows so seriously, not only to Kody, but to the church, to the point where she needed to get, like a decree from the church, disillusioning the marriage, and disavowing the marriage, I should say. And now you see her kind of on her own independent path to finding love with her besties, and you're going to see her do much more. I think she is probably the toughest person to speak to. I mean, I would get, yeah, I mean, in the sense that I think it's hard to kind of emotionally go there with her sometimes. And even Janelle, though Janelle is super like funny and soft and lovely and just lovely. She's just lovely. She's a girl's girl, she's her doing a shot, that's kind of funny, like you could see her coming out now. And I hope they do a girls trip with like the three of them somewhere. I think they need to go somewhere together and just like, yeah, heal the wounds that brought them together. Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious to know, like, what do the fans want to know most? I'm curious.
I think you nailed it. I think they want to see the evolution of Mary, Janelle, Christine. I think they almost would they would love the three of them to come back together and find some sort of common ground. I think they'd love to see this girls trip type thing. And look, I'm going to say in part two, I think you also set the scene for future seasons. Like, I mean, a lunch or a hangout between Kody
Oh
and
yeah.
David. I mean, David and Kody on a boys trip would be epic
I
television.
Epic, epic, epic. And I think Cody's getting to the place where he would hang out with David. I think he's come to a place where he would. I don't think people think that he could do that, but yeah, I think he would. I mean, I think the first time that they met at the at the shower,
Yes.
it was kind of hard because that was the first time that they had seen each other, and so so the first time with any of your exes, it's always hard. But then it gets better as you see them after a couple of times, and then it's like the chapter has turned and we're at a different space. But I think David is the kind of guy who would take Kody hunting and hang out and do fun things. I mean, David's the kind of guy who would be like, he has already invited me to go to Moab and go. What is that called on a bike? Like
Oh yeah, all the
a
I don't know what
trike.
they doing. Yeah, they do all that cross. I don't know what it is. I know what you mean.
Like a trike. He wants me to go there. He's like, Moab is gorgeous, and I'm sure it is. I mean, look, did you see how beautiful their wedding was? I mean, the vista. I
Unreal.
mean, gosh, I mean, it's beautiful. Yeah, I think, yeah, tell the viewers that definitely would be a possibility. I could see that happening. Now, whether Mary, Janelle, and yeah, whether they can bury the hatchet with each other, I don't know. We're gonna have to see what happens with that.
I
There's
know.
a lot of water under the bridge with that one. There's a lot of water under the bridge.
Yeah. Seeing any of them come back together, I think would be so fascinating and just where their lives go, their businesses go. I mean, yeah, endless stuff. And of course, the kids, I think, are so fascinating. They have to decide if they want to be on television in the public eye, but their lives are really interesting too.
I mean, but think about how brave this family was, and think about how brave TLC was also to just put their life out there. I mean, a lot of people had, different takes on a polygamous family. And what the Brown family set out to do was kind of say, hey, we're just kind of like everybody else. We just define our family differently than maybe your monogamous couple next door. But, there's different ways to look at how families can be. And they were really the front runner from the very beginning in sort of breaking the mold as to what families can look like, what neighbors, and neighborhoods could turn into. Can you imagine living in that cul-de-sac, like, in Vegas back, and you're like the neighbors to this, and you're like, wow, okay, all right, there's a TV show, and there's three families. Okay, four
I
families.
And just the idea of polygamy, is so foreign to us all. It's why you can't stop watching. It's like the concept of could this work? In a way, I think in the takeaway, they have obviously deep religious values to it. But, for most men, right, that's like their fantasy, they think, is to have these four wives. And then the reality of it is, of course, far different.
I mean, I think the
Okay.
fantasy turns into a job.
Yes, exactly.
Because you have a schedule to keep and you have to be at certain things and then you have to be with the kids. And what you realize is that for many of the women, I mean, it's interesting. They loved having their own free time away from Kody because they could run their house the way they want to. And they were really the king of their own castle. They were the king and the queen. They were everything on their castle, how they wanted to raise the children, what they wanted to do. Kody was just too busy, going from family to family and trying to be the matriarch. So I think what you see there is the complexity of monogamy, how, not to give Kody a pass, but I got to imagine when the kids were little, it wasn't that easy, right?
No.
Everybody's working a job. Everyone's trying to raise little kids. We've all had little kids. We know how it is to deal with 1, 2, or 3, 4, or 5. Now start adding onto the family, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
18 later.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
hope to get more. Fans want that too. They want to know an update on how Kody is with his kids. Can you give us any
He's
insight?
work. I mean, I could just give you this insight that he's working on it. It's probably not what they want to hear, but I think he's doing the best he can, and he's trying to find a place where he can meet his sons as men and his daughters as women, and maybe try and heal those wounds. I mean, I think it's difficult. Some of them just don't want to deal with him at all. They've kind of closed that door, and he has to deal with that. But others have left the door wide open. So, there is a possibility. I think with everything, as we know, as we get older, you know, sometimes time heals all wounds, right?
Yes.
Sometimes you kind of, as a parent, you're able to look at your parents as human, and they did the best they can with whatever they had at the moment. Maybe it didn't work for you emotionally, and you have trauma surrounding that. But the end result is you could see them as the person that they were, not the parent that you needed them to be at the time.
Yeah.
Then you become the healing person, and then you figure out, okay, well, I wasn't parented, so how can I parent myself, right? So over time we learn how to do that, but obviously it takes time, and for the kids to want it.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids are doing great. I mean, every time I talk to them, they tell me their kids are doing great, and they're having great, they're just on their own journeys, and they're taking care of their grandbabies. I mean, these women are so invested in their
Oh,
grandchildren and their children. I can't even tell you. They just love them to death. So it's important. But I mean, I would love to see Mary heal her wounds with Janelle. I think that'd be great. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the past before Sister Wives was even broadcast that that goes on between the two of them that we don't really know everything about. Maybe we will learn it one day. I
oh
don't
yeah,
know.
this is like decades, you know? I mean, yeah, and they had such a long history prior to even landing the show, prior to even getting going. Yeah, there's so much history there. Look, I know you have to run.
Well, they were part of each other's family.
Yes. Oh my God. I mean, you've got Janelle's mother marrying Cody's father. I mean, they're so intertwined. And then Janelle
Yeah.
was married to Mary's brother.
Yep. I was gonna say,
It's
yeah.
crazy. Like the family tree is wild.
I mean, Mary and Janelle were in-laws. There's a lot going on. Yeah. So
Suki, please come back. I mean, we have to talk about next time. I mean, you are gorgeous, gorgeous. We need your
oh, it's right back at you.
skincare routine. We need your entire history of like your journalism. You also do a
Oh.
show with your co-host. Please promote it. Promote where people can find you. Of course, you're hosting the 101.
Yeah, I'm just, just a regular girl trying to make it happen, just like you, Sarah, just raising kids, taking care of parents, and doing this gig here and there. I gotta thank, TLC and the team, and also the fans and you, for supporting the show, because, it is a wonderful, kind of look at family dynamics at play, and in all the stress points, right? When marriages don't work, when children don't get along, when tragedy happens, and
Religion. I mean, religion.
religion is at play.
No
Yeah.
money, having money. Oh, and then putting yourself on a microscope of reality television. And now in the world with like the internet being so crazy. And there is something fascinating where you want more always from this family, which isn't totally fair to them, but is also the downside of reality TV, where like you want to know about Coyote Pass, you want to know about the dolls,
I,
you
I
want
want to
to
know
know.
about Coyote Pass, how it all ends up. We're going to figure out how it all ends up. I mean, will they be sitting on those rocking chairs eventually? Maybe with different spouses. Maybe the rocking chairs are a lot longer and the porch is a little bit bigger, that, everybody has a significant other sitting next to them. Maybe that would be kind of cool that they could do that. Or maybe Coyote Pass is just, sold, and they all move on to different places, or it would be interesting if some of the kids want to live on Coyote Pass. Who knows?
Yeah.
Because they're also raising children at this time. Maybe they want a place where, the grandparents can all go, and it's not defined by any memories, where they can create new memories as a family together. Wouldn't that be great? That could be an interesting angle as well. I mean, you never know with the Brown family. I mean, they're just
You
so darn
never know.
interesting. Yeah.
They and I look. I always say this show. I mean, whatever fans think about Kody and Robyn, there wouldn't be a show without them. I mean, Kody, you cannot stop watching, and I hear he's very charismatic in real life
Oh
and
my gosh.
something
He
magnetic about him.
okay. The first time I met him, he's like on level 15 when you walk in. So it's like, you say hello. I think the first time I met him, I was like, whoa, that's a lot of energy that's coming at you. He's like, he comes at you as like, full on. Kody is full on. And then he kind of settles in, and he knows people think he's the bad guy. So it's kind of hard sometimes, but yeah, he's really interesting. And the curls are real, the hair is real. He's really incredibly fit. He's very, very fit. Robyn's very tall, just so you know.
Really?
I'm about yeah, I'm about 5'9", and Robyn is just as tall as I am. Yeah, she's tall.
Wow.
Yeah. You wouldn't think
Uh,
Robyn was tall, right?
no, I thought she was short. I would never know she was tall, ever.
Robyn's tall. Yeah, Christine's tall.
Wow.
I think Janelle's average size, and Mary's also like average size. Yeah, but yeah, Robyn's tall.
Ooh, Suki's got a book after all this is said and done too. Woo,
No,
the
no,
Suki
no.
files. Yes, I'm
No,
so
I'd love to
right.
answer. Like, I'd love like the top 10 questions. I'll try and answer. Top 10 questions. Kody, what's he like? Yeah, he's full of energy. He will point at you. He will try to, use his swagger to kind of sway you at times. But, I'm not easily swayable. Robyn, she knows she hates the name Sob and Robyn. I think I've said that a couple of times. How do you feel about that? I think she just takes it very personally. I think she takes
Yeah,
things close to heart. And so the name Sob and Robyn, she cries because it's just it manifests that way. Her pain manifests that way. Other people shut down, she cries. That's how she lets out her emotion. Janelle is just easygoing, totally cerebral. You have to meet her in a very intellectual way, and she loves heavy metal. I mean, you gotta love that she loves European heavy metal. It's crazy.
I knew that.
um and Christine is just like, your friend you're going to sit down and have a cocktail and cook with. She's like, like, what do they call it? Caftan. What is the thing that's trending right now? The calf cocktail, where you put on your caftan and you hang out and drink some wine. She's that girl. And Mary is like super fun. She's like the girl you go out to a bar with and dance on top of a bar.
Oh my God. Suki, thank you so much. We will see you back here. Oh my God. Tell people where they can follow, where they can see you.
You can see me at Sukanya on Instagram. That's where I really kind of live. Probably should do a better job. But you know what, Sarah? You've inspired me. Maybe we'll continue to have conversations.
Suki, I'm obsessed with you. Please come to LA. Let's go have our caftan cocktail or whatever we're drinking, girl. And let's talk, sister.
It's a calf tail. It's called a calf tail.
Cocktail. We'll do our cocktails. I love your career. I admire you. You have a tough gig. You are just rock solid in dealing with it. And it's just one of probably the greatest reality TV shows ever to air. So you're really a part of an amazing franchise. No, I admire it. Please come to LA. When I'm in New York, I'll call you.
Yeah, call me. We'll have a coffee. And, when we're in California, we'll have a matcha or something like that.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you so much for giving me the space to talk today. And also, if the viewers have any questions, slide into my DMs. I'll try to talk to you. I'll try.
She
I'll
says,
try to answer all your most, pertinent questions.
we love you. Thanks, Suki.
Right back at you, Sarah. Thank you so much. And thanks to the Sister Fans Wives. Without you, none of this would be possible. So thank you. And thank you from the Brown family, because they really are something special.
That's awesome.